say that you guys are the buddy cop duo I never knew I needed, but I now love so dearly. So thank you for gifting me with that.
Oh, good.
Oh, thank you.
What did each of you most enjoy about that dynamic between your characters?
Yeah, I loved it, dude. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Like, we really had a good time.
I did
It was
too.
nice. And like, even like, especially downtime, especially like time between like when we weren't shooting, just like, it was a long shoot. We were out in Calgary for 6 months.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of stuff to do together, and like, it would have been interminably impossible to get through without Gil messing around with me between takes, and me knitting and you
and reminding of our love of each other.
Yeah, it was a really sweet time, and creating the dynamic was really fun. Like, Gil is a really easy to love guy generally, so that's the access point for me. And also he's astrologically speaking, he's a Cancer and I'm a Leo, and that just is a really good match. They are the mother and the father of the Zodiac, and we are it's just a good vibe generally, wouldn't you say?
I would say, as you would say.
It's been said.
So there was no feelings of torture, Gil, toward Andrew. You didn't want to strangle him in between scenes at all. Was this also working for you as well?
No, I don't think we had any of that kind of contention. I'll say, if you don't try to make it, as dark as the material is, if you don't try to find some lightness with it in between the scenes, it's just gonna bury you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Gil, your character is skeptical at best of these people who seem to just sort of blindly hand themselves over to their belief. He's also the one that made me laugh at some of his more sarcastic comments. So what was it like to find that balance so that he's never crossing a line with how he treats people, but he is also never fully just accepting what they say?
I guess it's probably kind of the dry nature of Bill Taba, which is, kind of essentially myself as well. But it's a tricky territory to maneuver, especially in the circumstances we're doing with a different culture, something that he's not a part of. But the realistic, emotional expression about, I see what's going on. We're playing this little scenario, or we're playing these roles, you with this culture, and then me coming with the confidence of mine. So I think it's just a little levity that he has to maybe have for himself to continue the job he does.
Andrew, your experience with this story really defines the trajectory that your career has been on for the last bit of time. You went from reading this book and wondering who might adapt it to establishing yourself enough as an actor that when it did get adapted, you get a call from the likes of Ron Howard and Brian Grazer. So what is that like as an actor to be in a position where you can get a call like that and you're given an opportunity to be a part of a project that you were already passionate about?
Yeah, it's a privileged position. And, when I read the book, I was 23, I want to say 24. And, I was just a struggling actor and trying to get work and trying to book auditions and trying to avoid having to take another job and then cut to now. Yeah, it's odd, I have to say. It's I don't take it for granted. I find it very humbling that Dustin Lance Black and the producers thought that I could be of service in this role and to help this project see the light of day. And I'm very grateful. I always just have to give thanks and be grateful and not take any credit for it. Particularly, it's just how the dice have fell. And yeah, I've worked hard, but also there's a great deal of good fortune in there as well. But yeah, it's surreal, but because I think we all as artists want to just make things that we feel passionate about, and this book is something that I felt just incredibly passionate about since I first read it. So the idea of being and then doing it with this ensemble, like I haven't been a part of such an ensemble cast in so long, where it's just a real team, and we're all cogs in the wheel that are necessary to make the experience whole. So yeah, it was hard work, and as Gil said, we had to make it as fun and joyful as possible in between scenes because we couldn't sustain that kind of heaviness. And thank God it was a group of people that were so, you know, good spirited, that were telling the story together. Even the ones that played, and especially like, you know, Wyatt and Sam, who were playing the, you know, those kind of very, very dark roles, doing very dark behavior. And thank God that they're as good a people as they are.
When you play a role like this, I mean, this brings up a lot of questions for your character, especially. Do you feel like it provides any answers for you, or does it just make you dig deeper into your own feelings about these types of things?
Yeah, I think it deepens everything. I think that's the idea of a story like this. It doesn't provide easy answers, but it does provide more and more questions. And I think that's maybe one of the allegorical aspects of this story, is that a questioning mind and a curious mind is vital in order to live in reality. And as soon as we stop questioning, as soon as we enter the realm of certainty, we enter a very narrow point of view that makes us do things and that are incredibly dark and evil. And so I think the more questioning, the better. And I think the more expanded our consciousness, the better. We're never going to fully comprehend what the meaning of life is. And I think that's vital to know, you know, that we never get there. And as soon as someone, you know, has convinced themselves or has been convinced that they have answers, they have, you know, rock solid answers that will lead them to a fundamentalist, extremist way of being, we're in real trouble as a species. And evidently we're in real trouble as a species. That's, yeah.
Gil, what do you think your character was doing when we don't see him? What did you think he was up to in his off time?
Oh. Leading question.
Yeah, I think that he's probably one of the watching those crime shows, you know, 2020, getting tips on how to investigate.
Just watching YouTube, just like, how do I? That's how I hold the gun, and that's how I turn a corner.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you talking to me about this. I feel like there are endless conversations about this show, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.